Beware! Venturing into the realm of online translation contraptions is akin to a shrubbery-enthused knight crossing the bridge of death without knowing the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow. Forsooth, these digital sorcerers oft conjure misinterpretations so absurd they'd make the Spanish Inquisition inquire twice. Right. Why did I ask ChatGPT to explain the tribulations of online translation engines like Google Translate in the style of Monty Python? Well, because I just asked an online translation engine, Google Translate, to translate Romans Go Home. If you know, you know, okay? And I asked for that in Welsh, and it came out as Rhyfeinwyr mynd cartref. Now, Rhyfain is the word for Rome. There are two terms for a Roman, Rhyfeiniwr and Rhyfeinwr, without the I. And they're both acceptable. One pluralizes to Rhyfeinwyr, and the other pluralizes to Rhyfeiniaid. And when we talk about Romans as a group of people, we tend to use the word Rhyfeiniaid, which was not what Google Translate came out with. Now, much like in Latin, Welsh, not so much these days, but does have a vocative case. We use that when we address someone directly. And it appears in Welsh as a soft mutation at the start of whomsoever we're addressing. So in the case of Romans Go Home, we're addressing the Romans directly, and Rhyfeiniaid would then need to be softly mutated to Rhyfeiniaid. Now look in the dictionary and you'll find mynd for to go. A nuance that many online translation engines miss when encountering sort of verbal nouns in Welsh is that they don't understand the sort of the tense and the person involved, so they'll just give you the term mynd. So let's consider then the tense. Now we're wanting the Romans to go home presently as possible, please. So we're looking for the present future sort of idea. Timey-wimey stuff, just stick with it, okay? So in this tense, mynd will conjugate personally as av, eith, or eif, awn. However, we are requesting that the Romans go home, in which case we need something called the imperative. Some people call it the command form. Now, cer is the standard imperative that we use for mynd, and you'll do hear in some dialects, especially in the northwest, people will say dos for to go, so we're commanding someone to go. However, we are talking to more than one Roman here. We're saying Romans, so in which case we need the plural imperative, which is ewch. We could have also said cerwch and doswch, but like I say, we're going for standard Welsh here, so probably not that. Finally, Google Translate certainly was not wrong when it translated home as cartref. The problem is that we only refer to home as cartref when we're physically in the vicinity of home at the time of speaking, or we're referencing something as being at home. The term for home, when we're not physically there, we're referring to it as if it's somewhere away from us, or somewhere we're going to, is actually adrev. So essentially when you're not there but you're talking about home, we refer to it as adrev. Anyway, as the Romans in our sentence are currently away from their home and we'd like them to go back there, we're going to need adrev. One way the Anglo-Saxons referred to Celts or Romans, or what was left them at the time, was Wales. It's where we get the term for our country today. And actually the word Wales is across Europe, especially Germanic-speaking places, where it refers to a place of Romans or Celts. So when we think of Wales, technically the Romans are already home, knowing as if we're being known as Wales, I guess. Anyway, do you get all that? Rhyfeiniwyr, ewch, adref. Now, find the nearest wall and write it out 100 times. Don't do that. I do not condone graffiti.